United Airlines is delaying the deadline for employees to get vaccinated. That new deadline is January 4th, which aligns with the federal mandate. But staffing shortages remain an issue, and they lead to cancellations and delays. Joining Morning Rush right now is Sara Nelson. She is the president of the Association of Flight Attendants, CWA International, which represents more than 50,000 flight attendants at 17 different airlines. Sara, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, Sara, we were just mentioning staffing shortages, but truthfully, how has the vaccine mandate been impacting those flight delays and cancellations?
Well, not at all. The vaccine mandate has not even been enforced, as you just reported. What this is really about is staffing at high levels of productivity. These were staffing levels that were put into place prior to the pandemic, actually, and in response to all of the bankruptcies where workers experienced a 30 to 40% cut in their pay, loss of their pensions, loss of a lot of their work roles at work, and they agreed to work overtime hours in order to make ends meet. During this pandemic, with all the stressors and also people more often getting sick or being very conservative about coming to work if they are sick, and all of the disruptions on the planes, people are not really picking up those extra hours. And that's really more what this is about. They're a little hesitant to be spending that time at work and been able to be a little bit more conservative with their lifestyle in order to make ends meet. And so this is really a product of what happened prior to the pandemic.
Wow, okay. So I want to go ahead and address maybe some of the concerns at your organization, which represents 50,000 flight attendants. That's a lot of different voices there. What are they saying specifically about the vaccine mandate? What are you hearing?
Well, we have made it very clear that we are a worldwide network. This is a worldwide pandemic, and the only way to end this pandemic is for everyone to get vaccinated. There are vaccine mandates in other countries that actually affect our work. So it's not just what's going on here in the U.S. that we have to deal with. We have to deal with those mandates all around the world. So we have been working with the companies for quite some time on incentives, and more recently, related to the mandates, negotiating around how their process is moving forward with accommodations and making sure that this is not a burden that's put on the workers' backs to get this done. And when people are really pressed with the decision, they're choosing their job. And so our role has been to make sure that everyone has a fair process, a clear and transparent process, and on the front end, making sure that we had those incentives in place so that so many people actually got vaccinated on their own in a volunteer way through those incentives, so that the list was much lower when we got to the point of talking about mandates.
All right, some good news there. You know, it's been a difficult time overall for the airline industry as it's been struggling to recover from the pandemic, but there have been lots of flight restrictions put in place for the passengers, and as a result, we've seen so many unruly passengers. So how is your organization dealing with that right now?
Well, we have more incidents of, and I would move away from Unruly because we've had very violent incidents. So these are major disruptions or violent actions in many cases, and we have to get that tamped down. We've had more incidents in this year alone than we've had in the entire history of aviation. And so we've been working with the airlines and with the FAA to make sure that we're very clear about what the rules are and what the consequences are to violate them. Just this week, the FAA sent the most egregious cases where they have concluded their investigations over to the DOJ, so criminal prosecution can take place. Our experience is
all right, Sara,
we started to implement this.
All right, I'm sorry, Sara. We had trouble with your connection there, but Sara Nelson is the president of the Association of Flight Attendants. We do appreciate your time today, Sara. Thanks so much. All right, Dave.